Hey, what's up, fam? Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, hit that notification button when you subscribe so that every time I drop a video, you will be the first to be notified. Today, I want to bring a sad and an upsetting story, out of Houston, Texas. And this story is about a young lady by the name of Layla Steele, 24-year-old single sister, single mother, shot and killed by her father's son. This guy's name was Zacchaeus Rashad Gaston. Now, the way the events are told, that on April 1st of that morning, witnesses say they heard a domestic disturbance. Went outside, saw these two people arguing with each other. Say it was a physical confrontation. From what they can gather, it was over a backpack. The Zacchaeus guy, was arguing with Sister Steele about a backpack, and he yelled out, "Now see what you're about to make me do." Now he had, say we got into a physical confrontation. He said that statement, pulled out a gun, shot her in the torso. She fell, then stood over and stayed. The witnesses say shot 4 or 5 more times, all while she was holding their 1-year-old son Zeus. And this was on Zeus's 1-year birthday. So he shot her like a coward, ran, and it took the police 2 weeks to find him, thanks to to anonymous tips. But the killer part about it is this male was out on 7 felony bonds when this happened, and pretty much all the felonies, I think, stem from being abusive to Sister Steele. And as I sit here and read some notes here, it said he was held, originally, once he got captured, he was held on a $1 million bond for the murder, $500,000 on the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But then this past Thursday, he went to court, had to be removed from the court because he was having verbal outbursts, stating things like, "I'm innocent until I'm proven guilty. Don't talk about me like I'm some, killer, or, whatever. I'm innocent until proven guilty." So the judge, kicked him out of the courtroom. But his bond was increased to $5 million on the murder charge and $3 million on the aggravated assault weapon. Now, a little bit of backstory of the former couple. Here says Steele had a protective order against Gaston. And Gaston was charged with violating order in April of 2020 for going, I guess, to visit Miss Steele. And then they say also he was charged with assault on a family member after he allegedly hit Steele in the head with a plastic bottle and threatened her with a gun in a dispute back in September 2020. And this case was dismissed on June 29th, which was just 2-3 days before he went back and killed the sister. Now, the HPD Assistant Chief Patricia Canto said, and I quote, "We wonder what we could have done to prevent this. Once again, we don't want to put any fault anywhere. However, with the suspect being out on bond for 7 major felonies, this could have been prevented." Yes, it could have been prevented. Now, how did the guy get out and get bonded? Well, he was bonded by, I guess, a fairly newly appointed judge by the name of Natalie Cornelio. She dismissed the original case 3 days before the murder. Now, she is the judge presiding over the 351st Criminal Court in Houston, Texas. Now, it says the family has set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for Zeus's medical expenses. I'll put that link in the description box below. I say also, this is one reason that Greg Abbott will push to make bail bond reform a higher priority. And in my last video, I talked about how bail bond reform and elections go hand in hand. And now also, I saw this on the Fox News channel website. Now, what you have to realize is that when you're up against enemies, when you're battling, when you're in a certain war, when you're trying to go against, racism, white supremacy, you have to study your enemies too, because that's what they do with you. So yes, I look on all news channels, my local news channels, looked on Houston local news channels to find this report, and also went to Fox News. Normally I look on Reuters or Associated Press to get that unbiased news, but then sometimes you got to get the biased news. Even the biased news, a lot of times to prove their point, they're going to go find the facts. So that way when they prove their points, they have something to fall back on. So kind of like if you're trying to have a conversation with somebody about, let's say, something in the Bible, or something that's supposed to be Christian or scriptural, you have to come with, verses out of the scriptures. You just can't. A lot of people like to just say something that they heard the preacher say, but when you try to question them on it, they don't know where to go get it or where to look for it at. So I learned that if you want to have a dialogue with anybody about anything, you got to come with facts. You come with some verses, and when you do that, they can't dispute what you're saying. Now they're going off as emotion, and they feel kind of hurt because they feel maybe somebody may have lied to them or you're misinterpreting, whatever the case may be. But as long as you come with facts, you can sit back and relax on that. So anywho, like I said, I went to the Fox News channel website, and I saw that this, like I say, this coward dude, whatever his name is, he was out. His history is he had 3 felony convictions. He was also a convicted sex offender. He served 5 years sentence and had an ankle monitor on when he was out. Now they were saying that they don't know if he had an ankle monitor on when he went and committed this murder, but they're still investigating it. They say in 2019 he was charged with assault with attempt to impede breathing. In other words, he tried to strangle Miss Steele. And he also failed that year to register as a sex offender. In 2020, he had 4 felonies. One of them was possession of a weapon, and he gets out in 2020 on 6, or bonded out on 6 felony, like I say, major felony counts. And initially with the violation in April, that was number 7, and got out, like I said, and got out of that. So got dismissed, like I say, 3 days before the murder. And in 2021, he was, like I said, arrested again with felony evading arrest because he was visiting Miss Steele, who had the protective order against him. So, my point, one of the points I'm gonna make here, the judicial system. The judicial system is screwed up. You got a guy that's out on 7 felony warrants. Let's say major felony warrants. The young lady, the young sister put out, restraining order, protective custody order. And we all know them pieces of paper don't mean a damn thing. Because I've seen too many times where people put a protective order on somebody, and that only infuriates the person even more to where they come and they actually kill these people. And the first thing people want to say is, well, he had a protective order against him. That's not going to stop nobody from, a piece of paper ain't going to stop nobody from doing nothing. It's just like a marriage license. You can be married and have a piece of paper. That's not going to stop people from getting divorced. It's not going to stop people from, cheating or whatever, or leaving. It's not going to stop, it's not going to stop nobody if they really want to do something. And this is no different. But like I said, the judicial system is jacked up. It does need to be overhauled, not reformed, because you can't reform a system that's been in place for hundreds of years. It's hard. It's damn near impossible to do it. The best thing to do, like going back to the Bible, like I said, you can read the stories, and whether you believe them or not, whether you believe if they're true or not, that's up to you. But they all have merits and morals and teaching lessons. So go back to, how did the Most High fix a major issue, a worldwide issue? He flooded it. Saved a few people and flooded it and wiped out everybody else. Whenever there were wars in the scriptures, and the Most High would have an army of people that went in for him, he would tell them, you go, and when I allow you to destroy this nation, you wipe everything out. You destroy everything living, and you take no kind of what they call, you take no rewards, you take no gold, no silver, you take nothing out of that city or whatever. You destroy it all. You kill the kids, you kill the women, you kill the men. And a lot of the soldiers were like, that's kind of harsh. But then you come back and then you see that decades later, those same children that you saved, the descendants of those that you murdered, they come back and they take hold of your nation and they control your nation and they put your people into slavery. Again, but this is something that you can look up yourself. So this goes with the judicial system. You can tie this in, correlate this even with the Confederacy and the Confederate flag and the statues, where all the problems that we had in the past year or so of people having an uprising of being so upset they're trying to wipe out Confederate history. That's what you do. When you destroy something, when you destroy a nation, when you conquer nations, you destroy everything. You leave nothing to chance, but they can come back and seek revenge. That's just what you do. But a lot of people don't understand that. But again, you read scriptures, but yet a lot of people don't want to follow them, which I think is hypocritical. So yeah, we need a whole overhaul with the judicial system, because this young man should not have been out. He violated this woman, tried to choke her, hit her over the head, tried to threaten to kill her. Oh, he should have been in jail. His bond should have been in the millions. Even then, he should not have been out. When you threaten somebody's life, and especially somebody who's weaker than you are, that's just a coward move, and you should be, make sure, put away, or make sure you can't hurt this person. Which brings me to another point, that unfortunately, in these relationships where there's domestic violence, I've told women this many times, that somebody has to go, or it's going to mess around and somebody has to go. If this guy put his hands on you, if you have no one to protect you, and I don't mean the police, because they can only, from what they say, they can't do nothing unless he's committing a crime. And if you see him, he's not going to stop and wait till the police show up before he beats you again, before he tries to kill you, before he shoots you while you're holding his son, with no regard to life. So the only course of action that you have, unfortunately, is that you are going to have to move. Ladies, I know you don't want to hear this, but it's just a fact. You have to go. And it's unfair. I know. I can hear people saying it because I've heard it, like I say, to people talking to me. It's unfair that a woman has to leave, or her family has to pick up and move because you got some crazy ass dude who is threatening to harm them and their family. Now, if you're not going to take this dude out, then that's the only option you got, because he will come back and take you out. It's just a fact, and it's just a matter of time. So think long and hard about who you're dating. So this goes back to, then you can go back to the dating process. So then the question is, where do you find a guy like this? What attracts you to a man like this? I know a lot of young ladies like that bad boy type of guy, like that image. A dude who, a rebel. They say back in the day, oh, these kids with the leather coats and long hair, man, they just gonna destroy the world. You know, there's something behind that. When you're young, it seems like, man, these old people just overreacting. But when you get older, when you have your own kids, and then you become in your 30s and your 40s, and you start actually seeing the world for what it is, you'll start thinking the same thing. But like I'm saying, it's like I'm asking, like, where do you find these guys at? What attracts you to these dudes? And what is the vetting process? Where is the real life courting process? My advice to any young lady: you see a guy likes you, you like him, don't jump right into a doggone relationship. That's your first mistake. Jumping into a relationship too quickly. Because you don't know if this dude is crazy, stupid, or ignorant, or all the above. You don't know nothing about this guy. You don't know. I always say, see who raised him. Get to know the people that he hangs around. Because whoever raised him, that's who you're going to get. Period. If it's a single mother, or if he has a mother and father abusive in the house, or what have you. If the dad, works hard, the parents work hard, trying to provide for him, teaching him morals and values, that's what you're going to get. He may do some dumb stuff from now and again, but in the end, he's going to eventually make the right choice because he had a stable background. But if the guy does not have that history, you are in for a whole heap of trouble. So you do a vetting process. You take time. Like I said, my daughters, and I told other young ladies, you take time to get to know somebody. Don't jump into relationships. See how the dude acts, like I said, just in friendly settings. If you see something that just does not seem quite right in the smallest of settings, it's time to dip, because it's only going to escalate once y'all get closer and become a couple. So I'm quite sure, like I said, the young son Zeus, I said, was 1 year, turned 1 on July 1st. So which means that he was born a year earlier. So which means that 9 months before then, these two at least had a relationship. So the question is, how long did they know each other before they laid down together and created a child? I'm quite sure that, so that was like, what, 2021, 2020 was a birthday, so we're talking 2019. 2019, late 2019 is when they conceived this child. So within 2019, and we see the felonies and the problems he had before. So which means a lot of this stuff probably happened before the child was born, or when the woman was pregnant with the child, which is disturbing again. Which again, I say, no matter what, if he's violent before when y'all first get together, if he's violent while you're pregnant, if he's violent after the child is born, either way, you got to move. You got to get gone, especially if you know he's crazy. You got to go, because no telling what he'll do. He might just mess around and kill you and shoot his own son. You just don't know. But why would you want to know that? Why would you want to be around long enough to figure that out? Let somebody else figure it out, and then you be the one to say, man, I'm glad I got out this situation when I had the chance. But a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of women think that they can change a guy, or think that, a guy sit there and say he won't do it again, or they think as time passes on, everything will get all better. But that never happens unless there's some type of resolution. And until you get that resolution, best believe that this violent stuff will continue to happen. But hey, that's all I wanted to bring about this story. Like I said, it's sad, and it's failure from all the way around. Like the young man who knows? The man probably have some kind of chemical dependency. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but I don't know if he smoked marijuana now, so I'm not going to put that on him. But even if he did, a lot of people don't believe that, that cannabis is addiction, but it is. If you look at some of the charts, I've been to a psych hospital with these young cats, like in their early 20s, and you look at their psych charts, And one of the top things in this chart it'll say is in their charts, and a lot of the charts, they say they have cannabis dependency. And you look like, man, can nobody be addicted to marijuana? Yeah, you can, especially something they put out now. It's a lot different than dirt weed. It's a lot more potent than dirt weed. It puts out a big, major chemical imbalance in your head. But anyway, like I said, my prayers goes out to Zeus and Sister Steele's family. Again, they have a GoFundMe page. Like I said, I will put that link in the description box so y'all can help with his the young kid's medical expenses. Man, it's a lot in the story. It's a lot to unwrap in the story. Going back to the courts, going back to relationships, going back to family upbringing. It's a deep rabbit hole in this, to where a lot of this whole instance could have been avoided from the jump. But it goes with the choices people make. From everywhere. And I hate to hear it, but I hope Zacchaeus, whatever the clown name is, I hope he pretty much rots in jail, rots in hell, because he deserved it. I hope the son grows up, recovers from this, and somehow be a productive member of society, because this brother's gonna grow without his mom, and then knowing that your dad killed your mom, man, that family's gonna have a major uphill battle in raising this young man. So hopefully they'll all get counseling starting now and take advantage of these programs, and hopefully that young man to get counseling, the young boy, not the cowardly murderer. I'm talking about the son, the 1-year-old, as he gets older, no matter when he's a kid and as he's an adult, that he gets the counseling that he needs, because he will need it. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about this. What's your opinion? My question is, women, where do y'all find these men? I want to know what attracts y'all to a guy like this. What is it that y'all see, and what is it that y'all don't see when y'all meet a dude like this? Because as a man, I'm gonna tell you like this: we can see, especially the older we get, we can see these young guys that you hang around. We can't judge a book by its cover. It's easy to do it when you've been around long enough and you can see what you've seen in life. I can see a young man, 13, 14, 24, 26, 28. I can see a young man, meet him, talk to him, and within 15 to 30 minutes of a conversation, probably quicker than that. The younger he is, the quicker I can figure it out, because he's green in the game. But I can see within an hour of meeting anybody and getting to know anybody, type of person that he is. And I can tell you if it's good for you or not good for you. A lot of times with these young dummies nowadays, they put all their business on Instagram, so any kind of social media. So they just, they do dumb stuff, and you be like, that boy ain't no good. That boy, man, whatever. You can see it. But a lot of times people turn a blind eye to that because they just have to have a relationship with somebody. And so I just want to, like I said, what do y'all not see? Because I'm quite sure, watching the court video, and I'm gonna put that in the description box too, where they showed where he did the outburst. They made him leave the courtroom just by looking at him and the way he talked. It reminds you of that guy in Florida. What was the name? Ronnie O'Neal. That dummy there, defended himself. Was in the court with the suit on, with the, with the dreads or whatever you call it, and they're yelling and hollering and reading the court documents while he's talking. Just saying a bunch of nothing, looking like a plumb idiot, like a pure fool in court. And you look at him and like, you could tell that something was wrong with that guy. Like, how did you miss that? But anyway, hey, like I said, that's a question for y'all to answer. Y'all do it in the description box. In the comment box. Or if you got any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions of any stories you want me to comment on, look in the description box. Hit that email address. Also, if you want to support the channel, go in the description box and hit that website link. And if you got a YouTube channel, hit that TubeBuddy link. Sign up TubeBuddy. Hey, it'll help you streamline your channel make your channel look more professional and help you get more views and improve your content as time goes on. But with that being said, I'm out of here. Hey, y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. And always remember that faith is an action. And always thank and praise the Most High for everything. And until next time, peace.